Hey, love. This is Reverend Valerie Love. I'm coming to you today from my yoga mat. And I want to talk to you a little bit about why you may not have gotten where you want to get yet when it comes to money. I got a real big insight about this not too long ago. And it was such a big aha for me. I had to share it here on the YouTube channel. So this came from a very, very wealthy person. So I have a lot of very wealthy mentors. And the reason I have a lot of very wealthy mentors is because it is my intention to be wealthy, very wealthy. And I always knew within myself that I would be wealthy. I always knew it. I always knew I'd be rich. I don't know how I knew that. I just did. It's always been a knowing for me that I'd be rich. So I listen daily, at least 5 days a week, to rich people talking, to people who have created millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of wealth. I listen to them. I listen to what they're saying. I listen to more important than the words that they're saying is the energetic and the vibration. Because when you listen to people who have manifested millions and millions and millions of dollars and beyond billions of dollars in wealth, the vibration they hold and carry is very different from a person who we would call broke or poor or living substandard, living below our divine nature and how we're really supposed to live, which is rich, wealthy, healthy, abundant, blessed, happy, prosperous all the time. All the time. And anything less than that is just unacceptable. It is simply unacceptable. Tell yourself that. So I was listening to one of my mentors, and he said there are two things that stop people from becoming really, 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 really wealthy. And before I tell you what one of those is, I'm not going to tell you what both of them is. I'm going to tell you what one of them is because this is was a key. Before I tell you that, I want to tell you a story. So, you know that I used to be a financial planner at American Express. And when I was a financial planner at American Express, you can imagine that many of the people didn't look like me. When I started there in 1997, 1998, around that time. So, um, a lot of people didn't look like me. Most of the people that worked at American Express as a financial planner looked like were of the Caucasian persuasion and male. So, it doesn't mean anything. It simply is how it was. So most of the people were Caucasian and male, and I myself was in the rarity, was in the, as people would call it, minority. I don't really like to use that word. Anyway, I had a girlfriend, and my girlfriend that was there, she looked like me as well. And so the two of us connected, and we talked and we talked and we hit it off, and we became really, really, really good friends. Well, we used to go out and get business, and work and get on the radio. And I would get on the radio. I would do workshops. I would do all kinds of marketing events so that I could always be bringing in clients, bringing in clients, bringing in clients. And so we would be doing all this work, bringing in clients. And every so often, we would notice that one of these young gentlemen that like just came into the business would get this huge amount of business, and like seemingly like they weren't even going out of the office working. Like, how did they do that? Like back then they used to measure it in what we call TWIP. It was total weighted production, TWIP. So you had to have so much TWIP to get so much money. So TWIP equaled money, okay? I won't go into all of that, what that means. So we might work and work and work and work and come, and get maybe 100,000 TWIP, okay? And then here comes this young man, and we were working, 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 right? 2 weeks working, working, working. And then here comes somebody that didn't look like us, that didn't even seem to work that much at all. And next thing you know, he's got, because they posted all our numbers up on the board, he's got 500,000 TWIP. He's got like half a million TWIP. Like, how in the world did he do that? Like, how does that happen? I was clueless for a while until I started to learn some things. And here's what I learned and what I discovered. A lot of the young males who came out of college, they were much younger than I was because I started later in my life. They came out of college, they were young, maybe in their 20s, and they really didn't have connections and whatnot. Yet they could post these big numbers. And why? Because their fathers listen carefully, their fathers belonged to country clubs. They belonged to organizations where one father would be playing with another father golf, and one said, "Yeah, my son just started off in financial services." "Oh, really?" "Yeah, yeah." So they're talking. Says, "You know what? I'll give him $500,000 of my portfolio to manage for me." "Yeah, okay, great." So they just made that deal just like that on the golf course, one wealthy person with another wealthy person. And this person is now going to invest their money with this person's son, who I work with. I was not privy to that kind of conversation, nor was I privy to how it all unfolded. All we see is this person put up some really big numbers, and it looked like they never even left office. Let me tell you, so that I tell you that story to frame what I'm getting ready to say to you that my multi millionaire mentor taught me. He said this: all wealthy people, all wealthy, extremely wealthy people, extremely successful people that he knows belong to a club. Excuse me, a society. For some, it is a secret society. For some, it's a country club. For some, it is a social club. They belong to a club, a society, a group, that in the group something very powerful happens: mutual support. I give you something, you give me something. I understand that I'm receiving, you're receiving. We're all helping each other. And if you do that for 5 years, you'll be amazed where your life will be. You will be amazed where your life will be. It's not any different from belonging to a really conscious community that you're in that supports your spiritual growth. Most people do find that kind of support system for themselves for spiritual work. So you go to a church because you know that you need something to tame your, monkey mind, your crazy mind. So you will find yourself a way to get to church or to a spiritual community or a healing community or some kind of place that inspires you. Very few people search out a club that will do the same for them with intention for wealth. Like, is there a wealth club you belong to? Well, if you're not wealthy, probably not. And isn't that why you're not wealthy then? Probably because you don't belong to a group, to a community, to a club that has this as their priority, that has this as their intention to be wealthy. And I'm not saying to go out and join a club like that today. I'm sharing with you valuable information that I pray will click something in your head. So when I got that piece of information, this is what I decided to do. I'll tell you what I decided to do. I decided that I was going to join a club like that. That's what I decided. Now, you can do whatever you like. I'm not here to convince you to do anything. I am not in the convincing business. That is not my job. My job is enlightenment and to share information and to support you in thinking differently and changing your mind and your spirit and the manifested results of who you are as a being. I'm here as an inspiration. So I'm going to leave that with you. If you want to understand more about the Success Club that I joined, that I belong to, you're certainly welcome to do that. I'll give you information about that right below this video. There is a um, opt-in box. Just put in your name, email address, and you'll find out all the information that you need to find out about the Success Club. You can join it or you cannot join it. I really don't care. It's not about that. It is about you changing your mind. I love you. Be blessed. This is Reverend Valerie Love. Peace. Mwah.